Are you thinking about moving to Warner Robins? Well, think again, or at least until you watch this video. I'm gonna give you the top 5 things that you must know before moving to Warner Robins. Big one, no public transportation. You're gonna wanna stick around for this one. I would declare that I am a local now to the Warner Robins area. I moved here about 5 years ago after I got out of the military. I was stationed over in Columbus, Georgia, moved over here, met a beautiful wife. And at first, I was one of those ones that moved here, maybe just like yourself, that you weren't planning on moving here. Maybe it was for Warner Robins Air Force Base, maybe it was just fantastic cost of living, or maybe you were looking for a new job. The majority of residents here in the local area are, but the good news is there's some really great factors about our local area, and there are some things that I would change. But in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 things that you really should know prior to moving here. And also, if you have to move here anyway, might be some good news, might be some bad news. Yell at your spouse. Not me. Now, let's start off with number 1, the cost of living advantage. Now, when you're searching around on the interwebs, you're gonna see anywhere between $219,000 and $254,000 on average when it comes down to a home here in the local area. Personally, what I've seen, we see an average listing price of about $240,000 for the city of Warner Robins. Now, if you just go a little bit north to Macon, you see an average list price of $179,000. However, you need to understand the difference between averages, medians, and also what you're looking for. The nice thing is about that average being lower, when you start to go up into the higher price points, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Now, if you're searching on the internet and you see that the average home price currently here in the United States is $365,000, compared down here to Warner Robins sitting around $240,000, you're gonna be able to do a lot more with the actual money that's coming out of your bank account. So when it comes down to cost of living, when you have less money being spent on your home, you can spend more money on, let's say, a little bit nicer of a car. You can go out to eat. You can plan those family vacations. You can plan for retirement. That, I would say, is the number 1 benefit of the local area. But also, there is a con to this as well. With the cost of living being lower, when it comes down to high paying work, you're gonna see mostly GS scale or government jobs. And if you've seen the news, there is a federal hiring freeze going on at this moment. So higher end jobs, you're most likely looking at contractor jobs near the base, you're looking at IT, you're looking at different job fields, and you're really only looking between the $70,000 to about $110,000 per year once you hit the top. Now, places like New York, California, Texas, you may be able to get a little bit more money, but you really need to make sure that you do the math of pure ownership of home plus lifestyle to see if it makes sense before you move here. If you need a calculator, shoot me a comment below. I'd love to send one over to you. Now, let's talk a little bit about hidden expenses, because when you move to a new area, you have things like taxes, you have things like transportation costs and different things. And I'm gonna start off with the first one. Number 1, it may be a shock to you. There is no public transportation here in the Warner Robins area. There's no buses, there's no anything like that. You are going to have to commute, either going to have to buy a car. You can be one of those people on a moped that goes 30 and a 55 and you just don't know how they haven't gotten hit yet, right? That happens around here sometimes. Or Uber, Lyft, those are definitely other options, but that is something that you need to take into consideration. Next, I would say gas, right? Kind of weird topic to talk about, but the nice thing is we got a Buc-ee's right off of I-75 and their average gas price is $2.55 a gallon. Okay, gas prices here in the local area are phenomenal, and also you pair that with a new 2025 Camry Hybrid at 47 miles per gallon, you are gonna be off to the races with cheap gas money. Today's sponsor of the channel is Toyota. Just kidding. I really wish though. That would be pretty sick. Next on the list, we're gonna talk about Georgia taxes. Now, currently, Georgia has a state income tax of 5%. Now, keep looking at the news. Things may change, but that may be a shock to you because we do have income tax here. And let's get the cat out of the bag for the last one. We do have hot and humid summers. It's not as bad as Florida, definitely not Mexico hot, but it is hot. You're looking at a little bit higher of an AC bill, especially if you're like me. You will not see my house above 72 degrees in the summertime. I'm sorry, I know that there are some online articles that say that you should have it at 78, and then at night you bump, no. I care about how cold it is in my house. I want it cold, I'm willing to pay the AC bill. but you're gonna have to cough up a little bit more coin if you're like me. Now, number 3 on the list is the job market. When it comes down to Warner Robins, we are home of Robins Air Force Base, the largest industrial complex here in the state of Georgia. We have about 22,000 personnel, both civilians, military, and contractors, all on the base, but you have to understand something. There has been a federal hiring freeze. If you go on usajobs.gov, you're probably not going to find anything, but I'm here to tell you that there are plenty of job opportunities that are still out there, right? You need to be looking at NH skill. You need to be looking at contractor jobs. You see, the government will always continue to hire contractors, and those contractors are always hiring their specific websites as well as on Indeed. I did you a favor. If you want to comment below, comment the word job, and I'm going to go ahead and send you over a document. I need your email, but I can shoot that right over to you. Not being salesy, I promise. I just want to be able to help you find work in the local area. I have all over my YouTube channel, usajobs.gov, usajobs.gov. I found a workaround for great paying jobs that you can continue to apply for our local area, because I believe that this still is an economic powerhouse and a phenomenal area to be able to have a job. You just have to know where to look for it. But with that being said, with that hot job market comes PCS season, right? When you do a PCS in the United States military, you're transferring from one base to another, and the housing market can get competitive. You know, we have a lot of people coming, we have a lot of people going. Typically, you know, permanent change of station happens every 4 years, and some years it's a little bit heavier, some years it's a little bit lighter. But that is one thing to think about, especially if you're coming to the area to work on the base. A lot of those 3-bed, 4-bed homes right next to the base get ate up by a lot of investors and get ate up by a lot of families. But if you have a realtor that you have in your back pocket that knows how to find properties strategically for you, you're not gonna have anything to worry about. But if you would like help with that, feel free to shoot me a text message at 478-888-7808. I would love to interview for the position to earn your business. And I wanna prove to you why, through proof and evidence, why you should pick us. I would love that opportunity. Shoot me a text message. I'd love to see what it would look like for us to be able to work together. Now, this is a really good segment. We're gonna talk about surrounding communities, right? We have Warner Robins, just north we have Macon, south we have Kathleen, Bonaire, Perry. Okay, all of these have unique areas. Up in Macon has an awesome downtown area after 6 p.m. Okay, I'm a realtor, I can't really talk about why, but it's after 6 p.m. Downtown Macon's really nice. Warner Robins, not a bad area. Watson Boulevard, Russell Parkway continues to get busier and busier and busier. But if I were you, Bonaire, Kathleen, fantastic school systems. Perry still has good school systems. You're getting a little bit more out in the country. Downtown Perry is a delight. You can walk around, there's shops, there's food, there's events. But if you're like me, I kind of like to be left alone a little bit. I kind of like to have a little bit of land, back up to a peach orchard, right? Maybe have some animals outside. Byron might be the right place for you. But understand that there's a lot of little cities and local communities that are all within commute distance to Robins Air Force Base and other places that you may be working. You just need to know about them. And if you need any help with that, again, just let me know. I can go around, videotape for you, and also here on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of those different areas, but always, if you have questions, I'm here for you to answer them. And just to get this out of the way, let's start with a gotcha. Warner Robins in general, right? It's getting overpopulated. Watson Boulevard is miserable if you're on there at 9 a.m., 5 p.m. when people are coming and going off the base. You got a lot of chain restaurants, there's a strip mall, right? There's nowhere to walk. You literally cannot walk around, there is no downtown. Now, I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't say it's horrible. I just wouldn't say it's great. You know, if you're coming from like Charleston, South Carolina, or like a place that's popping with a downtown, this ain't it. But hey, if you are looking for that walkability, maybe some nightlife, higher end restaurants that are so tasty, like really good, go up to Macon. Just make sure it's the right part, because there's some really high crime rates in Macon if you go to the wrong locations. I'll leave it at that. Macon is an awesome place in certain areas. I'm not trying to be rude, not trying to talk it down, but I just gotta be honest, you know, some parts of Macon suck. Some parts of Macon are phenomenal. I love going up there. Kind of in, this kind of sketchy area, Eisenhower Parkway. They got awesome pickleball. Then you can go to Bass Road and have some of the most extravagant cuisine at Natalia's Italian restaurant. So good. And there's some really good areas. Downtown Macon's not bad. After 6 p.m., just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, Macon's not too bad if you're in the right spots. Again, I just gotta be upfront with you. We got some hot summers. You're looking at about 90 degrees, sometimes hotter if it hits 100, okay? Just just stay inside. That hardly ever happens though. But again, I know I've said it twice, hot summers. And lastly, before it's a gotcha kind of lifestyle issue that's going on, is property taxes, right? For example, in Byron, my house just luckily lands upon city and county taxes, which for a while was about $1,000 extra a month. If you're coming from a state that you're not used to paying property taxes, make sure you get with me and we find an area that we know your property tax, right? Macon, Warner Robins, Kathleen, Perry, Byron, Bonaire. There's different areas, and then within those areas, there's different segments for property taxes, and you really don't want to get in got sucks. And hey, relocating can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. I would love to be able to serve you and your family with all of your real estate needs. Shoot me a text message at 478-888-7808. I'd love to be able to hop on a call with you and show you what it looks like here in our local area, and also prepare you for success when it comes down to buying or selling that next home. We want to make sure that you're comfortable and confident throughout the whole process, and make sure that you come from a position of power so that you win and get the best deal at the end of the day, and we can show you exactly how to do that. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I'll catch you on the next one. And if you'd like to see what it actually looks like to buy a home with me, check out this video. I made it for you.